Now our event co-chairs will introduce today's honorees. It's my pleasure to turn the program over to Brava co-chair Randi Nielsen. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. It is my great pleasure to introduce our first Brava honoree, Ellen Adams. I met Ellen for the second time when we were both elected to the board of the Y back in 2011. But Ellen and I quickly realized that we actually had first met in the early 80s when we shared the squash courts at the University of Pennsylvania. Ellen recently gave me a copy of a photo of our team, the physical evidence of our 30-plus year connection. I would share it with you all too, but I wanted to spare you from seeing our 1980s big hair and perms. Back then, I was an undergrad and Ellen was a graduate student, a Wharton woman finishing up her MBA. From there, Ellen pursued her dream and her professional passions. While Ellen is a leader in the sophisticated world of asset management, she is most at home in the great outdoors. Ellen's nirvana is hiking in the Tetons, gardening in her backyard, biking through a beautiful countryside, or skiing on a bluebird day. Ellen definitely prefers flip-flops and jeans over high heels and a suit. But Ellen's world extends well beyond Fairfield County. She and her 2 children share an adventurous spirit and enjoy exploring the world. Together, they have created their joint bucket list with over 30 trips and destinations all around the globe. Ellen inspires her friends, family, and colleagues with her enthusiasm and unwavering support. I have personally benefited from our renewed friendship as Ellen has encouraged and supported me with her hopefulness and optimism. To borrow a line from Star Wars, may Ellen's positive force be with you if you are ever faced with doubts or dealing with uncertainty. The dark side is really no match for Ellen's confidence and problem-solving skills. Ellen, my friend and former teammate, will you please join me? For your commitment to excellence professionally and within our community, the YWCA would like to honor you with the 2016 Brava Award.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Randy. And thank you to the YWCA for this honor. As you can see from my bio, I've traveled quite a long way from southern Arkansas to arrive here. I've had the gift of supportive parents, wonderful mentors, and great friends. I've had a 35-year career in investments, and I've been fortunate enough to get to solve puzzles for a living. I've raised 2 kids who are now 18 and 19, and I have to say this has been my most satisfying, although at the same time most humbling job. I've learned many lessons through the years, but in particular 3 stand out. First, attitude is everything. I'm an optimist, and this optimism has given me the strength to let go of comfort and step into new adventures. I traveled 1,500 miles from a small town in Arkansas to Mount Holyoke College, where I knew no one. I felt like an alien at first, especially with my southern accent, but I came to love my new world. After a summer internship in New York City in the investment business, I talked my boss into hiring me full-time, even though this involved dropping out of college. I was 20 at the time, and most of the adults in my life were just a little bit concerned. In 1997, I left the safety of a senior role, a nice corner office, and a stable paycheck at a $40 billion investment management firm to join a $25 million hedge fund. Well, I joined this hedge fund as a managing principal and 35% equity partner. What this really meant was I got to pay for 35% of our operating losses until we were able to build the business. While each of these steps was scary at the time, they were ultimately very rewarding. The second lesson I'll talk about today is persistence. Persistence has given me the energy to regroup after hitting personal and business potholes and figure out how to get going again. It's very hard to reach any longer-term goals in your life without this trait. Let me tell you the story of our current business venture, Hinoki Capital. My partner Dan Sheridan and I left our previous fund in 2011, where we were two of the three principals and were responsible for really building this business. We launched our new fund in 2012 with great confidence. Surely investors would recognize our brilliance and rush to give us money. We expected that within 18 months, we would reach profitability and the sky would be the limit from there. We agreed to give it 2 years. Slowly, reality began to dawn. No one was in a rush to give a small hedge fund money. Prospects would tell us, we really like you guys, but we want to watch for a couple years, or come back and see us when you get to 200 million. Most small funds fail, even with good performance. We needed to make a major shift in our mental plan for 2 years. If we weren't willing to commit to our venture indefinitely and trust our process, we were never going to make it as a business. 4 years later, we've just crossed break even. Good performance and persistence has finally led to asset growth and increased attention. The final lesson I'll talk about today is find your passion. I'll close with a quote from someone who clearly lived his life with passion, Steve Jobs. What you choose to do in life has to be something you're passionate about, because otherwise you won't have the perseverance to see it through. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. Thank you again to the YWCA for this wonderful honor and for all the important work you do in our community. And congratulations to my fellow honorees. Thank you.